What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am here to bring you guys my most recent video in my must-have must-gag series. This is a series that was inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series. I always have heard series and the community playlist linked down below. I am a part of the community playlist, so if you're interested in seeing anybody else that participates in that community playlist, then go ahead and just keep watching. I am wearing yet another sweatshirt and my hair is looking suspect, but we're gonna keep it pushing because this is my weekend off and I am very excited about it. Very excited. I have not left my house all weekend thus far, and that's good. Very good. One thing to say before I begin, this should be my last video that I'm actually recording where I'm not wearing makeup. This upcoming week I'm actually going to be doing my testing, so theoretically I should be going back to actually putting makeup on very soon, as soon as I figure out what I'm actually allergic to and I can then avoid those products. If you're wondering what's on my lips, it is just the Alyssa Ashley and e.l.f. lip gloss. It's basically the same thing as the Fenty lip gloss. I have been low-key like not paying attention to my phone this whole weekend really, so I'm just gonna scroll through like Trend Mood and see if there is anything semi-interesting to talk about, to add to my list of things, and then I will come back and we can start this video. Alrighty guys, so unfortunately I'm just gonna put it out there that it's hard to avoid holiday releases at this point. I'm gonna do my best, but there is one holiday release that I might talk about at the end. We will see. Jouer Cosmetics has released their Metamorphosis collection that released on the 10th of September, which will be in a couple of days. It has an eyeshadow palette that also has a highlighter and a blush, and they also have two like lip enhancer shines, so basically lip balms. I'm not interested in anything in that collection at all. Next, Yas Glitters did a collaboration with Makeup by Abby, and it looks to be basically a rainbow palette matte wise with a couple of colorful shimmers. I am good on that palette as well. Next is a palette that has had me kind of going back and forth. I still don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm looking at it. It is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm palette. Now, depending on the way that you see it, depending on the picture, the warm mattes are really just warm mattes. They're like warm browns. They're not like the red orange that I thought they were. And then the shade Zero Gravity, I thought it was like a really cool tone brown, but I've seen it in other pictures and it's a gray. So I don't really know how I feel about this palette. I know that Dominique Cosmetics is held in store to the stores near me, so I will definitely go to Sephora near me and think about this purchase, but as of right now it will not be a purchase that I make. Something that I am very excited about actually purchasing, and I cannot wait to purchase it, is the Nomad Cosmetics. It's the Italy. Wow. It is the Italy inspired palette, and this one is the La Dulce Via at Lake Como, and this is the green and blue with some like dirty browns or like mustard shades in it. I don't have nearly as many blue brown palettes as everybody else does because I didn't buy like the certified one. I didn't buy, what other ones? I didn't buy the one from Ace Beauty. There are a bunch of others that I didn't buy. Pretty much the only green brown palette that I have right now in my collection is my Whale Song palette, and I love that palette. I love the formula, I love the brand, that's why I purchased it, and I love the formula of Nomad Cosmetics based on my Tokyo palette, so I will definitely be purchasing this when I'm off my no-buy as well. Funko Pop, they did a collaboration with Disney. I have no idea what that is. I hear a lot of people talking about these doll things, but I honestly, that's not me. I don't know anything about them. But long story short, they came out with a whole range of makeup They have bronzer palettes, blush palettes, eyeshadow palettes, lip products, all of these things. That's a full pass for me. But if you are interested, it is on Ulta's website, and that'll be the way that I link it down below. MAC is doing a collaboration with Pony. It has an eyeshadow palette, a lip gloss, 2 brushes, and a MAC Fix Plus. I have 2 MAC Fix Pluses. I don't need another. The eyeshadow palette is way too neutral for me. The lip gloss is basic. I'm good. And the brushes are, I'm okay. So that's a full pass for me. Madison Miller did a collaboration with Ofra, which I am very happy for her. I used to follow her, but she just became somebody that I couldn't align myself with anymore. So I did go ahead and unsubscribe for her, but it's no disrespect to her. It just is, sometimes you just lose interest in watching a certain person. There are things that catch my eye in this collection, but I know I'm not going to go ahead and purchase it. She has some lip glosses, liquid lipsticks, highlighters. All of those I know is a huge pass for me. Same with the face palette. The only things that I am slightly interested in are those blushes, but being as she has a lot lighter of a complexion than me, I have a feeling these blushes are not going to work on my complexion. So I'm just going to pass unless I see somebody who is my complexion that happens to purchase it and does a video on it. Then maybe. But until then, I am good. Pat McGrath also released some mini eyeshadow palettes. It's called the Eye Ecstasy palettes. I like the idea of these palettes, but I don't think I'm going to pick one up. It has her mini formula. Let me see if I can find. So I just went ahead, let me make sure I'm back in frame. I just went ahead and grabbed my Big Daddy Pat McGrath palette. And in these palettes, she has mattes and the special shades, but she also has some of her, I guess you could say, basic shimmers. I just swatched, or just took out 3 really quickly, and these are what they look like. They're not as special as the special shades in my opinion. Had her special shades been this palette, I would have went for it, but they're not. So I am good on purchasing those minis because it's just another shimmer formula, and I have plenty of shimmers in my collection. There are brands that all I have is their shimmers because they have no mattes. Viseart came out with a new palette. It is called their Grand Pro 2 Dark Mattes. I like some shades. I like the foresty greens. I even like the top row of oranges. I really do. But then everything else just doesn't really work for me, in my opinion. So this is going to be a pass. And in addition, I already have my Dark Mattes palette, the 12 pan one, and I don't get as much wear of it as I should. So I'm going to skip on this as well. Colorpop is coming out with a couple of Ulta exclusives, and this one that I'm going to be talking about is the X and O palette. This reminds me of a couple of the palettes that they've already released and that I was able to skip on, so I'm not going to even bother with this one. I don't have the other one pinned, but I will go ahead and put the other one on screen at the same time. They're coming out with both of these. Neither of these are things that I need to bring into my collection. They're pretty, don't get me wrong, but I don't need them. Divina Cosmetics collaborated with Angelica Nyquist. I feel like I talked about this last time, but we're just going to talk about it again. She said that it's going to be re-upping in the month of September, which we are currently in. I'm hoping and praying that they'll re-up it again, potentially in October. My finances are just not where they need to be right now for me to purchase makeup, but I would like to get a couple of the shades because I know I have a lot of Divina shades. I still haven't taken the time to actually shop to see which shades I would need, but I'm pretty well, I know I would need the 2 shimmer shades that she made into shades because they were highlighters before, and some of the other ones I might need as well. Although let's be real, I have similar shades from Divina, if not these shades. So in my opinion, I really just want the Moon Well Magic Duo. That's the one that I really want. Juvias Place released their Warrior 3 palette. Now I was very surprised. It was not what I was expecting at all. And my initial feeling was this is a rainbow palette, or this, they don't even know what they're doing. I don't need this. Now seeing people's reviews and tutorials, I see that it's a rainbow palette, and although I'm interested because I love color, I have so many Juvias Place palettes, and I don't get the use out of them that I should. So I am going to go ahead and skip on this palette, even though I wouldn't mind having it. It's something that I don't need though. Beauty Bar Baby has come out with a pastel version of their multi-chrome flakes, and I want a couple of these as well. I'm really interested in Unicorn Fantasy. It's an orangey one, and then also Mermaid Fail, which is like a green to blue to yellow. Those are the two that really pop out to me, in addition to the other flakes that I'm interested in. Once again, as long as this brand is still releasing these flakes, I will be interested in purchasing them. I will say that I have gotten one or two of the flakes that I purchased pre my no buy I've gotten them, and they feel to be honestly a glorified pressed multi-chrome, which is not a bad thing. I'm just saying that's kind of what it is. So if you are interested but it's just too expensive for you, but you have a good amount of pressed multi-chromes, maybe don't even consider it. But some of these colors seem to be really unique, which is why I am personally considering them. Okay, here's a holiday release that I feel the need to talk about. It is the Too Faced extra spicy whatever collection. So they have the extra spicy palette, the 2 liquid lipsticks. It looks to be like a loose highlighter and a mini hot buttered rum eyeshadow palette. Now I don't know why, but I'm actually interested in the hot buttered rum palette. I know I can do this in my collection, and I might scoop it up. I'm definitely not going to scoop it up full price. There's no way, none. Maybe during a sale, but I am interested in that palette. As for the extra spicy Too Faced palette, I'm not hating it as much as everybody else is. I think it is definitely spicy for Too Faced, but it's not really unique or groundbreaking. I think the last two columns on the right, those are definitely unique for Too Faced, that color combination. Now had they made that into like a 6-pan, your girl would have been on it like white on rice. But because it's in such a big palette and I already have a palette, I will probably be skipping unless it goes on a sale. We'll see. But honestly, that last row kind of reminds me of the Subculture, which is why I'm slightly interested in it. Melt Cosmetics is coming out with a radioactive collection. I didn't know, but they apparently discontinued their old radioactive stack, and now they're coming out with this as a palette. So they have the palette, they have the 2 blushes, and they have some lip glosses. You guys know I love glowy blushes, so these blushes are very intriguing to me. I will say that I don't think either of them would be unique to my collection, so I am unfortunately going to have to go ahead and say no to those. And as for the eyeshadow palette, it's a glorified rainbow colored palette, and I haven't heard a decent amount of good things about any of Melt's eyeshadow palettes, so I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up. I do have, I think, 3 or 4 of their stacks that I've already depotted and put in a huge palette. I love those stacks. They're a very good formula, very nice, but I'm trying to get more use out of things that I have, and right now I just don't need that. Royal Rouge Labs has come out with some more it's a new palette. I'm sorry. The color scheme is actually very interesting and unique in my opinion. There are definitely some interesting colors that really scream out to me. Will I pick out the palette? I don't know. Let me see how much the palette is. So the palette is $25.99, which is not a bad thing. My biggest problem is that you can't see the actual palette and what it's going to look like. You just see like pictures of the inspiration, everything. I don't want that. I want to see what the palette's going to look like. So I am going to hold off. I'm definitely not going to pre-order. I'm interested, but no. Lovelock's Beauty has come out with the Foiled Rose palette, and I am intrigued. I really am. The color combination between these warm burgundy golds with the soft purples is really interesting and inspiring to me. It's $35, and there is a code to get 10% off. It's Amy Loves. So that's not bad. I would be interested in bringing this in my collection. I do have a couple of their shimmers and their mattes, and I do like them. The only thing I didn't like was their like crumbly weird formula. So this, I'm pretty confident that I would like this formula. So I'm intrigued. This is definitely going to go on my like wish list section on my Instagram, and potentially it'll go on my actual wish list. Menagerie Cosmetics has come out with a Killer Purr palette. Well, at least they have sneak peeked it. I don't know if it's going to be a full-size palette or if it's going to be one of their minis. I did just recently get my mini, and I have done my swatch video. It should be coming up probably at the end of this week or sometime this week. As for this palette, I want to see what it looks like. If it's a little too neutral for me, your girl's probably not going to get it. I do love their formula, but I don't need neutrals. So let's wait to see what it looks like, and then I can talk a little bit more about it. Classy Cake has come out with a multi-chrome palette. Although I love multi-chromes, I don't need a full palette. I have an obscene amount of them, and this is not a brand that I've heard anything about, so I think I'm gonna pass. And in addition, they also have highlighters at the bottom, and none of those highlighters look like they could actually work for me. Shuruma is doing a collaboration with Pokemon. It seems to be a Japan, wow, get it together. It seems to be a Japan exclusive release where they have some eyeshadow, they have some lip products, some removers, a bunch of stuff like that. I do not live in Japan, nor do I have any friends that live in Japan, so this is gonna have to be an automatic skip for me. But if I did, I probably would scoop it up, just because it's me. So I talked about the Creepy Killer Clown situation, and it is a blush palette. It's 4 shades. These are not unique blushes to me, and on top of that, they're matte. I don't need to bring any matte blushes in my collection. I have an obscene amount of them, so it is going to be a pass for me. KKW has released, or I'm sorry, I don't know if it's released. Has it released? Let's see. It has not released. She has just revealed her collaboration with Winnie Harlow. I was actually really excited and interested to see what they were going to do. And I can't say I'm surprised, but there's nothing that I want. So they have the eyeshadow palette that is basically warm neutrals with some burgundy-ish colors in there. They have a highlighter duo where you can basically customize your highlighter. It reminds me of the Pixie duos. And then you also have 3 lip glosses. So that's that. Honestly, out of everything, I might pick up maybe the highlighter duo, but honestly, I don't need the highlighter duo. I have plenty of highlighters, and there's nothing unique about those colors, so it's probably going to be a pass for me. Smooth Gal Inc. has shown their Egyptian Pyramid palette, and she's also shown screenshots of all 3 sides. I will have them on the screen. Honestly, if it was just the pink and purple side, I would pick it up. I really would. But the other 2 sides are not screaming to me. I'm not interested, so it is a pass for me. Urban Decay has done some more swatches on their honey collection. Not only just the eyeshadow palette. Right now I'm going to show you guys the eyeshadow palette. I am still interested in this stupid palette. It has those warm caramel colors and those warm browns that I am very much attracted to right now. And as soon as I can get to wearing more makeup, I'm going to start wearing makeup not only on camera, not only on the weekends and when I get home, but also at work. So I'm very, very excited to start doing those things. And this would be a nice palette to actually do that with, because I don't want too much attention when I'm at work when it comes to my makeup. In addition to the eyeshadow palette, they're also coming out with what looks to be a mini eyeshadow palette, which is intriguing. They have oh, it's a kit. Oh, it's a kit for the holidays. Oh, you guys tricked me into talking about more holiday stuff. It's a kit for the holidays. So it's like an eyeshadow palette. You get a finishing spray that probably has a honey scent. There's an eyeliner, and then there's an eyeshadow primer. I mean, I like the all-nighter spray, but I don't need any more sprays right now. The eyeliner, I did not like the eyeliner when I tried it. And honestly, I would probably prefer just getting the Big Daddy eyeshadow palette and not this mini one. Let alone, I don't want to get all of these things just to get that one thing. So it's going to be a pass for me for that. But in case you did want all of those things or you're interested in, there you go. Juvias Place has also released a new eyeshadow palette, and this one is for the fall time, and this was intriguing. I was not expecting to get this inside from the outside. I was honestly expecting it to be a neon palette, but it clearly is not. Now, that does not say that I don't like these colors. I actually love these colors, and I'm thinking about how this would be a perfect combination with one of their other warrior palettes. I will have it on the screen, and that all reminds me of the Natasha De Nona, what is the one that I didn't like? The Safari palette. So as weird as it is, these two palettes are making me want the Natasha De Nona Safari palette. And I say that because I've wanted to get another Natasha De Nona palette. I've wanted to get more of her mattes. I really enjoy her matte formula, and getting that palette would have a combination of both of the Juvias Place palettes, and I can depuff that one. So I think I'm actually, as weird as it's going to say, purchase a more expensive palette instead of the two Juvias Place palettes. But that does not mean I don't like the formula or I don't like the color scheme, because I actually do. It's actually really intriguing me right now, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the more expensive one right now. Released a new eyeshadow palette. It's called the Queen of the Night eyeshadow palette. It's an all shimmery palette. I have a couple of these in my collection. I don't need to bring any more in, and these shades don't look super unique. Maybe if I see a video and it's like jaw-dropping, maybe, but right now it is a pass for me, and it is $59. The Makeup Revolution has shown their Halloween collection, and I'm very, very excited. I love Halloween. Halloween is my season. It is my time. I shine during Halloween. And they have liquid lipsticks. They have highlighters, or liquid highlighters. They have an all shimmery palette, and they also have some face base paints. I want the white base paint. I would like to X out my face when I'm doing some looks, some more creative looks, and this would be a nice way to do so. So I'm very interested in that. Colorpop has done another collaboration with Kathleen Lights. This is a glorified Morphe palette with Colorpop's name on it and Kathleen Lights' name on it. It's too big for me. I don't need it. The color scheme is not grabbing to me. Maybe one or two shades, but other than that, I am good. The next palette is something that also is a holiday. These holiday releases are starting to sneak in. I just can't avoid not talking about them at this point. And this is the Metropolis palette from Natasha De Nona. This is another 28 pan palette, and I have one 28 pan. It is right here, and I love this baby. This baby screamed me. It has both purple and blue, my favorite two colors to put on my eyeballs. So I had to go ahead and scoop this up when it was on mega sale last holiday. Now, as for this palette, I feel as though I'm going to have the same problem. Can we not? There we go. I feel as though I'm going to have the same problem with this Metropolis palette as I have with my purple blue palette, and it is that there's not enough mattes. I love mattes. I've grown to love really building up my crease and then putting 1 to 2 shimmers on my lid. So that might be my problem with this palette, but I'm gonna wait to see it in store and go from there. You never know, it might have enough mattes for me, but this definitely screams fall to me. And once again, it just screams like it has some of the shades from that Safari palette in here, and that one's an all matte palette. So I still think I'm reaching more towards that one, but this one is definitely intriguing. And one last thing, and then I'm it. Miss Fame has released her first eyeshadow palette, and it looks to be all shimmers, which is interesting. I know a lot of people were like disappointed with Miss Fame's first release because I can't remember what happened, but I think it was like just like glitters or something, and people were pissed. This is not screaming me at all, so it is an easy pass for me. And that's about it. This was a pretty quick week for me. I've been busy. I've just had a lot of things going on, so I haven't been stuck on Instagram as much as usual, and I've just been going through looking at my own collection. I even decided to pull out some shades that I thought came from the ABH Norvina Volume 1 palette, and I might be helping myself avoid purchasing that palette. I've just been really excited to just dig into my own collection and use what I have. That's why if it seems like I'm really down or just hating on a lot of releases, that's why. I really cannot wait to put makeup on. I feel like this has been a time that I really needed to just realize what I have and just learn to enjoy what I have. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, y'all, it has been real. Peace.